Recently, we went over the delay pedals, the reverb pedals, and the stop box pedals in the Tone Master Pro. Today, we're going to go over the combo amps, all 14 of them. So if that sounds interesting to you, sit back for a bit. I will try to keep this under 20 minutes. Okay guys, what I plan on doing is going through each of the combo amps one at a time with no extra effects. And I'm using my Fender Telecaster. I don't have any riffs or anything in mind. I will just improvise as the amp comes along. And I'm going to use the settings that Fender has already set. So these are the default settings for each of these amps. Starting off with the 59 Bassman. Fender says one of Fender's greatest tweed amps, which began life earlier in the 1950s as a bass amp before being adopted by countless guitarists who prized its tone and power. The Tone Master Pro version already has the normal and bright inputs jumpered. Controls, volume normal, volume bright, treble, middle, bass, and presence. And here's what it sounds like. Fender 65 Princeton Reverb. Mid-60s Fender studio favorite with the snappy tone of a single 10-inch speaker and richly ringing reverb and vibrato effects. Controls, volume, treble, bass, reverb, speed, and intensity. And it sounds like this. Fender 65 Deluxe Reverb. Fender's highly popular mid-60s classic produces great tone whether clean or dirty, with shimmering reverb and vibrato. It remains a sought-after tone machine to this day. Controls, volume, treble, bass, reverb, speed, and intensity. And the Deluxe sounds like this. Fender 65 Super Reverb. Mid-60s Fender classic with the full body and distinctive snap of four 10-inch speakers and richly ringing reverb and vibrato effects. Controls, bright switch, volume, treble, middle, bass, and reverb. And the Super Reverb sounds something like this. Fender 65 Twin Reverb. One of the greats. An indispensable mid-60s stage and studio favorite prized for producing quintessential Fender clean tones with reverb and vibrato effects. Controls, bright switch, volume, treble, middle, bass, and reverb. And it sounds something like this. Fender Bassbreaker. Supercharged tone from the popular modern Bassbreaker 15 model, which takes Fender's classic Bassman sound and then breaks the mold with specialty voice tonal favors. Controls are the bright switch, gain, bass, middle, treble, and master. Presented in 3 versions, with low, medium, and high gain structure settings. Yeah, there are 3 versions of this amp to choose from, and we'll start with the low. now the Bassbreaker medium. And now the Bassbreaker high. Fender Blues Jr. Warm-toned and moderately powered, Fender's Blues Jr. is a highly popular 1x12 combo with distinctive preamp gain for incredibly satisfying overdriven tone. Controls, fat switch, volume, treble, middle, bass, and master. And it sounds something like this. Fender Vibro King. A powerful modern Fender classic with 3 10-inch speakers, touch-sensitive dynamics, and distinctive natural overdrive. Controls, the fat switch, volume, treble, bass, and mid. Here's what it's like with the fat switch off. And here's what it's like with the fat switch on. UK3 Normal. Inspired by the normal channel of the venerable Vox AC30, the amp that powered the British invasion with powerful, clean, and distorted tones. Controls, volume, and cut. And it sounds something like this. UK30 Brilliant. Similar to the UK30 normal model above, but here with the brilliant treble sound of the top boost circuitry and extra tone controls added to the amplifier in the early 1960s. Controls, volume, treble, bass, and cut. And this channel sounds something like this. Marksman Channel 1, inspired by the clean channel of the Mesa Boogie Mark II C+. Controls, volume, treble, middle, bass, presence, master, and with a 5-band graphic EQ. It sounds like this. And the last combo model is the JC Clean, inspired by the sparkling clean channel of the classic Roland JC120 Jazz Chorus. Controls, bright switch, volume, treble, middle, and bass. And it sounds like this, guys. All of those combo amps are also available in an amp head only version, meaning that it does away with the speaker cab, the convolution reverb, and the vibrato, if it has reverb or vibrato. So why would you want to use the amp head only version? Well, maybe you want to try a different speaker cabinet than what is normally assigned to that amp. Maybe you want to try the Fender Bassman with a 4x12 Marshall cabinet. Or maybe you might want to try the Deluxe Reverb amp with the Cloud Reverb. Now, I know that's heresy for a lot of you guys, but I'm just saying it gives you other options. Now, we still have quite a few more amps to go through, so I'll be doing those in the upcoming weeks. And for those of you guys that are still here with me, thank you so much for dropping by and sticking around. I really do appreciate it. Keep those questions and suggestions coming. I get to them as soon as I possibly can. I'll have all new content next Wednesday. Now, you don't want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll be talking with you next week.